All right, so I will carry on from my video from the previous lesson. Okay, so right now we are looking at G part 1 and G part 2. So the reason why I push this to the subsequent week is because you would not have actually gone through this before the lecture. So after Monday's lecture, you would have some time in between to get this done because our tutorial is on Thursday and Friday, depending on which class you are with me. All right, so I hope that gives you enough time to then practice and get this done. All right. So let me try to break this question down so that it's easier for you all to digest as you try to attempt it with the knowledge that you have. All right, so let's look at this question with reference to extract 1 and extract 4. State and explain one possible reason why economic efficiency is not achieved in the market for education. All right, when they talk about economic efficiency here, we are talking about allocative efficiency. All right, allocative efficiency. So this must mean that in this case here, if allocative efficiency is not achieved, this must mean that there is market failure. So essentially what this question is asking about is a question that asks us for the source of market failure. Why does the market fail in allocation of resources? Okay, so what you have learned, you will be learning the non-provision of public goods. That is one source of market failure. Sources of market failure. All right, one of this is this. You learn positive externalities. You will learn negative externalities. You will learn merit good as well as demerit good. And of course, inequity. Okay, so there are these various sources of market failure. So you have actually learned this before, and in this case here, this is not the market failure we are looking at. In this case here, what type of market failure is education? What kind of market failure is associated with the consumption of education? Sorry, yeah. All right, so when we look at this context here, we are asked to use extract 1 and extract 4. If we look at extract 1, where do we think we can find the information? All right, so down here they talk about education, but what type of level of education? Down here, the type of education that they refer to is more of your preschool. Whereas extract 4 is more of the university. So if we look at preschool level, you can see how, okay, this sentence here, all right, a word of caution coming out to say that, when it comes to learning, all right, caregivers, parents should not underestimate the importance of learning through play. All right, so there could be some form of information failure associated with this, which will then give rise to market failure. I won't use this to explain for this particular question because it's something that you will not have gone through. So I won't use extract 1. Okay, because extract 1, you only learn this maybe 2 or 3 lectures time. Maybe let's look at extract 4. And for extract 4, we try to then see if we can get our answer, which source of market failure. Remember earlier I have these 6 sources of market failure here. All right, we will specifically zoom in at positive externality. Okay, when you learn in lecture, all right, positive externality. All right, why is it called positive externality? Because it's third parties. Third parties are involved in which benefits are generated, and these third parties actually benefit from this through the consumption of these goods and services. They are not part of the consumption or production process. That's why they are known as third parties. All right, and despite them not being part of consumption or production process, somehow they still sort of generate this benefit from this. Okay, so this benefit that is accrued to these third parties are known as your externalities. So in the context of education, what is this third party? All right. So you can see down here they mention benefits of higher education are shared by participant and the rest of society. Down here they mention about how people with a university education tend to be more active citizens. What do we mean by active? All right, we talk about volunteering more as well as other activities that benefit those around them. All right, so this group of people through education, through the consumption of education, all right, so you become more educated, you improve the literacy rate in Singapore. So what happens? Your foreign firms, they see, hey, wow, literacy rate in Singapore so high. Okay, then they come to Singapore and invest. So third parties benefit from this, okay, because this impacts those who may or may not be consuming, those who may not be consuming education directly. All right. So the benefits are shared not just by the participant, but together with the rest of society. Okay, so in this case here, you can explain this in terms of positive externality. Okay, you probably need to draw a diagram. Okay, your cost benefit diagram. This is your cost slash benefit. This is your quantity. Your MPB, your MPC equal MSC. All right, left to the market alone, they will be consuming at QP because they will equate MPB equal MPC. Why is that so? Because they seek to maximize utility. Okay, but then we know that there is the presence of externality, and there is actually a divergence between your MPB and MSB. That's your marginal external benefit. All right, so that's how you go about addressing this question, question G part 1. So give it a try after the lecture, and I believe you should be able to do it. Any questions, I will go through in class again. All right, so G part 1 should be quite straightforward. All right, so if you have no problems, we move on to the next question. Okay, sorry, G part 2. So G part 2 here, using evidence from the case study and all your knowledge, discuss the view that Singapore government can best achieve economic efficiency by providing subsidy. Okay, so right now, just now was a source question. Right now, we are looking at a policy-based question. So you probably will also have learned all the various policies to address positive externality. So what are some of these policy that we can look at? All right, you need to use it to address this question. So subsidies is one of them. Okay, what other type of policies can we use in order to address this market failure? So in order to answer this question, what is our objective? Important to align back to this objective. So you want to achieve economic efficiency, you want to alleviate the market failure associated, the underconsumption. So government here, what can they do? They can provide subsidies, that's one. So they can best achieve this through providing subsidies. Antithesis, they cannot. All right, so when you address this question, I hope you can apply this HEL approach. How your policy work? You use the economic framework, your cost benefit analysis. Remember your cost benefit analysis. MPB, MSB, MPB, MPC, MSB, MSC. Use this cost benefit analysis to explain how is it effective? Effective in doing what? Achieving economic efficiency. How do you move from QP to QS? And then the limitation of each policy. All right, so you have most of this answer from your lecture notes. Give it a try. Okay, should be quite straightforward. For this, because it's 12 mark, how many policies do we need? We need at least 2. All right, 2 very well done. If you can do 3, fantastic. Okay, so try to use 2 or 3 including subsidy. So subsidy is 1. So what other policies can we think of? Direct provision, possibly, or public education. So these are various policies that we could look at. So go and read through your lecture notes, see how you can apply them in this particular context. Any question, feel free to ask. All right. If not, then that's it. Thank you.